Alright guys, it's time for the video that you guys have been asking for. The rundown on the 105 series. Let's start off with what the car actually is. Toyota Landcruiser GXL 105 series. That means it's coil all round. It's got the solid axle front end compared to your traditional 100 series. It's a 1HZ turbo. Toyota brought out the better motor, the 1HD FTE in the 100 series, but they had an IFS front end. I wanted a coil all round solid axle chassis car with a 100 series look equals a 105 series. Unfortunately, the 105 series did not come with the better motor of the 1HD FTE or even a 1HD FT. This is a 1HZ with an aftermarket turbo attached to it. It's got 283,000 kilometers on the clock, so it's quite young for this car. All right guys, let's get into the rundown. I'll see you on the side of the car. What I want to do today is run through all of the mods on this car, what I've done and how I bought it, and the history of this car in particular. Let's start up the front as standard. Down here, the rubber we have is Nitto Trail Grapplers. They are a 315 75 16. First time using Nittos, pretty good. Most of the time I actually like to run the Maxxis Razors. I've gone up to Queensland with these, I've gone to South Australia with these, and I've done a little bit of the Vic High Country in these. The wheels are King Off-Road wheels. They're called the King Off-Road Hurricane. They're actually a Hurricane 2 apparently, and they are load rated. The size for these ones are 16 by 8, neg 22 all around. They seem to fit the 105s with the 315s. Pretty good on the guard there. So they're a 1600 kilo per wheel load rated. So they are good for GVM upgrades, etc, etc. So these are the electric mirrors from Ocam. It does work off your factory, a little switch there on the right hand side to adjust only the top mirror. So there's two mirrors on this. One's obviously sort of your blind spot and the other one's your main mirror. Continuing down the side, we've got the Dacia Eclipse. This one's a 270 and it also comes out this front bit as well. So there's a nice front triangle here which extends it a little bit and goes around the back. That's awesome. I don't mind that. It came on the car. To be honest, I'm probably going to get rid of it and I'll put a Bush company purely because this, look, is it freestanding? Is it not freestanding? I actually don't really know yet. Minimal wind, yeah, it's probably freestanding enough. With the wind on it, it's got the legs that drop down. It's easy enough to set up, but I prefer the Bush company simplicity. We just unravel it, tie it up, walk away. Up the top, that's my Motop MFT. I get a lot of questions about that rooftop. So it's a multiple folding one. It's called an MFT 187. 187 is the width, so it's a wide tent, and that's the reason why I got it. So the top folds up, the bottom bit will fold back out that way. So it's a bit of a fold like that. The reason for that is it's got a huge mattress inside for millimeters for width and length. It is huge. It fits 4 adults in there, believe it or not. So that's what that one's for, and that's what I got because if we put the whole family, so me, my wife and my 2 kids up in there, there's still plenty of room for people to sleep in there and you're not so much rubbing shoulders against each other. It does have a clear plastic sort of pocket, a heap of storage pockets, but the clear plastic one's in the middle, and I like to throw the iPad in there if we're going to watch a movie or something like that when we go to get into bed. It's got a skylight as well, which is basically just unzip and you can pretty much look at the stars when you go to bed, and it's got a lot of ventilation. So that rooftop is awesome. It looks a bit chunky. It's got the solar on the top, but the millimeters in width, I think it's less than 300 millimeters. So generally your range of rooftops, unless you're getting a real slimline one, they sit somewhere from 200 mil to 300 mil. So it does look chunky, but fits on the roof rack beautifully. Moving down, so the steps, and if you want to call them sliders, there's a slight hump in there. I don't know if you can see that on this camera. Obviously, I've been sliding on some rocks. That's just ARB, original back in the day to suit the 105 series. That's pretty much this side of the vehicle. We'll head on around the back. Don't mind the young fella in the background. He's just got a new bike. It's called a Stasic. So if you're in the market to get one of your kids an electric bike, they go like the clappers. I'll be honest, I rode it. You get 3 power settings. I just keep him on the training setting, as they call it, which is the lowest one for a little bit, and then I've thrown him up to the big one the more confident he gets. But yeah, real good. MX Store sells those ones, and they're called Stay Sick. I'll give you a quick look at it. All right, so at the back of the car here, we've got a Kmart rear bar, obviously suited to the 105 series. We've got the spare wheel, does hold the 35, and on this side we've got the twin Jerrys. These Jerry holder carrier sort of covers, that's from PM Canvas, along with this bin bag, which fits a 20 litre plastic Bunnings bin in there, which is great. We've got the Max Trax holders, which fits behind the bin, and a tyre cover with a pocket. That's from PM Canvas. I believe they're over in Perth. Unreal stuff. They don't just do this sort of stuff, they do a lot of it, but they do pretty much anything canvas you can think of. So if you want something else canvas made, I'm sure they'll do it. Hit them up. On this side, you probably can't see too much. I'll open this up. So on this side of the tyre carrier, we got lights. Under this, they extend up. That's pretty much good for reverse lights or camp lights. I've got a Starlink holder here. It's a Gen 2, I believe, or Gen 1. Just the holder. I've thought about getting like a Gorilla mount or something like that for the top and running it full time as I'm driving, but it still works well, so I'll just leave it as is for now. Hook it up on the inverter when we get to camp if I need it, and that's what it's for. On the back, pretty standard. We've got the ARB steel roof rack up there. That's right, it's not an aluminium one. I haven't upgraded that yet because it came with the car like that, and it's a great brand, so there's not much cheap stuff on the car for what it came with anyway. It's got an Anderson plug here, so power for charging pretty much if you want to tow a caravan. Your standard 7-pig plug there. Tax deductible if I put my business sticker on it. Shout out to Garage 76, the mechanics down in Canberra. Check those guys out. They pretty much look after the car. Their service is unbelievable, very thorough, and want reliability out of your car, that's the guys I'd be going to go see. So that's the back of the car. Let's keep moving around to the driver's side. On the driver's side of the 105, the major thing that's basically in your face is a big Traveller sticker. So shout out Traveller. Thank you so much, guys. They've thrown me quite a bit of merch. All the guys down there that I met in Dargo that are all with Traveller, you guys have been nothing but honestly great. We have become great mates with a lot of them, and I still message them today. It's amazing the people that you do meet in this industry, and huge shout out, guys. Thank you for your hospitality down there too. We really appreciate it. More than happy to, promote the brand a little bit out, because A, it's a really good beer, and B, it's really good people that run it. It's Australian made, it's run by good people, and it bloody tastes good. So get on it, guys, and support homegrown beer and homegrown companies. So anyway, up on the rooftop, we've got a shovel holder. Got the old crash bag bag for the end of the shovel, just so it doesn't drip shit pretty much on the car, mud and all that sort of stuff. This is the OG Safari snorkel. So they stop here, the OG ones on the 105. They don't continue down the bonnet. They do now, so you can actually get that, but I thought I'd leave that. That's kind of cool. Finishes there real nice. Done a bit of damage here to the slider / steps, so that needs to be amended. And I should probably paint them black or something like that, or this grey to match that trim. Let's go around the front. All right, up the front, we've got an ARB bull bar. So this is from OG back in the day. This was installed in about 2005. So back when they were making it, this little jig was made up to suit sort of the winch and these light housing. So these are IPF lights. Yep, a real OG here. This winch, I've just put this hook on, the Rumba hook. That's a worn winch. That's a 9,500 pound, I believe, worn winch. Again, from back in the day, and still works unbelievable. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a wireless controller. It's plugged into this, but the lead is huge. So if I plug it in there, run it over the mirror, I can hold it inside while I'm driving anyway. Back with the OG stuff. This is an older one, but this is a GME aerial. It's an AE 475G aerial. So, but again, back in the day, 04, 05, 06 era, this is the GME stuff that we put in these cars. We've got the Great White Spotties up front. These are 8.5 inch as well. And I've got some Ocam bonnet protectors, and they're also on the windows on the sides, sort of like a rain fly protector, but this one's a stone guard or whatever you want to call it there. I've got these two outlets here that are on the bull bar. This is for the John Twine shower that's running off the pretty much water system in the car. So it's got the tank in the back, which we'll get to, but that's inlet and that's outlet. So if you want to have a shower, run that into bit of water, run this out. There's a pump in there. It'll heat off the car's water system and you can have a hot shower. So that's a cool little addition. Again, that's an older thing to do as now you get the Julkas and all that sort of stuff. So still pretty cool. Get that on the car and it works perfectly still today. Let's quickly jump underneath and then we're going to jump inside the car where the real magic is. Underneath, guys, we have a full TJM XGS suspension system. It's only a 2-inch all the way around. As you can see, it's getting a little bit rusty there on the coils, so I think it's due for an update, which is coming in future videos. We're going to swap out the radius arms and overhaul this suspension system completely and throw in a 3-inch system. Much the same for the rear. It is a 2-inch suspension lift with Dobinson coils this time, but it does have XGS TJM shocks. They are 800 kilo constant springs, so it does sort of nosedive at the moment, which again is why I want to overhaul the whole system. Let's jump inside. This is where the real magic is to me. In the cockpit, what we have is we've got red arc gauges up here. So we've got EGT, boost, battery 1 and battery 2. So one's the starter, one's the auxiliary battery, and I can see how much charge is going in between the two, one from the alternator and then one through that one to the auxiliary battery underneath. I'll go through what they are soon. We've got a PDI short shifter, so it really creates less throw when you're changing gears with this. We've got a 3D printed cup holder. That's pretty cool because again, these cars, they don't really come with cup holders. I'm going to be honest with you. It's got a Pioneer head unit. That's really cool. That's linked to a reverse camera. So all I do is shift it into reverse and it will come up automatically on that. That does have Apple CarPlay and all that sort of stuff. I've got a quad lock mount here. Nice and easy for the phone. GME UHF. It's sort of split between the unit, the handheld, and then like another little screen which shows the channels and all that. It's actually a TX 3400. So again, a little bit more old school than your fancy new stuff, which is all on your handheld. But I'm not going to change it. I've put an external speaker there because literally I can't hear many people when they're talking because the car's kind of loud. So, and I usually drive with my windows down, more comfortable for me. So I've just thrown an extra speaker there so I can hear everybody talking. Moving up, it comes factory with these bloody sunglass holders, and there's like 1,000,001 up here. It's unreal. So it's like an overhead console, just comes factory with. It's got LED light bar switches. That's for the front spotties, the great whites. It's got the rear light switches here, so when I'm reversing and I want to see in the nighttime, hit that, bang, the back one comes on. It's got ARB compressor switch here, so it's actually got 2 ARB compressors in this car. One in the bonnet, that runs twin ARB air lockers in this car, so it is twin locked front and rear. It's actually central locked as well from factory, and there's a twin ARB compressor in the back, which I'll get to soon. And that one in the back's mainly for my tyres and all that sort of jazz. The one in the front's mainly just for my lockers. And those of you with a keen eye, and I mentioned it in the previous video before, it does have fitted sheepskin covers in this car. Am I going to upgrade them? I really don't think I will. When I say upgrade, I mean like put canvas seat covers or something, black ducks, ARB, something like that. I don't think I will. These are probably the comfiest seats I've ever sat in for long distance driving. I know it's a bit old man spec, I get it, cool, but the back has actually got fitted sheepskin covers too, so would highly recommend. For fuel capacity, I think it carries about 130 litres, but this is sub tank and main tank, so a good tip with your sub and mains, which I got taught off a mate of mine. The position of the sub tank is at the back of the car, right up the back underneath the cargo area, and your main tank is in the middle of the car. So what people tend to do is when they fill sub and main up, they leave the main on, so it'll drain your main tank first and then switch to your sub tank. Good mate of mine told me, instead of doing that, when you get in and you fill both your tanks, do your sub tank first. So drain that one first, because it'll weight distribute way better in your car. So when your back tank is done, which is way up the back tank, which is in the middle of the car, will drain, keep the weight in the center of the car, which is a really good tip. So I do that every time. So shout out Mark, thank you for that. I've also got a little temperature gauge down here. So that shows me the temp of inside of the fridge in the back there, and it shows an ambient temperature as well, which is in the cab. Really handy. I look at that all the time. Couple cup holders in there. Pretty pointless because you have to have that door up when you've got drinks in there. dash mat. I just got a sandy taupe dash mat or a beige dash mat. That is one of my favourite colours. Yeah, let's head round the back. As they say, it's not a Landcruiser unless it's got the fold up and fold down tailgate doors. I don't know if I agree with that. The 76 had barn doors. Not too bad. The only thing I like about it is you get a seat. That's about it. So in the back, we've got this bit of MDF. That's just put over the top of the tailgate. That's great. That's like another table for me. In the back, instantly, ORS Off-Road Systems 3-drawer with a fridge. This is the old Engel fridges with the ORS fridge slide. This setup suits me perfectly. These drawers are super, super deep. Wide, long, deep. In these drawers, I keep, for some reason, a stock whip. I'm not too sure why. A bit of gas, a jet boil, your non-perishable items. So I've got some meagering food in there. I've got some garbage bags, a bit of sugar, a bit of tea, a bit of rice that's long-lasting, a bit of salt and pepper, and my pots and pans, they fit right up the back. Paper towel, sandwich bags. If you go camping, get some sandwich bags. They come in handy like you would not believe. You know, if you got some food that you've overcooked for dinner and you want to use it tomorrow's leftovers, whack it in a sandwich bag. I do absolutely everything with sandwich bags. Got a few spare belts here for the car, just a few mechanical things in there. I've got some foil, glad wrap and all that. That all fits in this bottom drawer. In the second drawer, I've got my ARB compressor hoses that'll with the gauge. I've got recovery gear in here. I've got my Wanderer cooker in here. I've got a hammock and I've got some tie down straps for the awning and winch extension straps, snatch straps, all that. So that's my recovery gear one. I've also got the shower in here, which I said hooks up to that John Twine one out the front. Now in the top drawer here, I keep the coffee machine. That's for keep the missus happy, and pretty much things I need to access very quickly and very easily, which is going to be the ARB, a couple more straps in here, but the deflator, that comes in handy. That way I don't have to drop this tailgate. All I've got to do is lift that up and this drawer comes straight out over the top of this, like that. And I can get that out, deflate the tyres real quickly, have a coffee in the morning, anything like that. We've got some washing stuff in there and we've got some more tie down straps in there. So just in case I need to get a strap out, nice and easy. Also what I keep up the top, when nature calls, what do you need? Toilet paper. Top drawer, get the toilet paper, go do your business. Now on the fridge slide, it's an Engel fridge. It's got the original transit bag on it. These things unreal. Here's the old girl. It looks about 25, 30 litres, maybe 40 if we're lucky. What's in it? Nothing but the best. All on the Traveller. I'll keep one out for myself. You can't open a fridge that's full of beer and not grab one out on a weekend with the sun blaring. Beautiful weather today. Beautiful weather actually for Canberra. Unreal. It's still a little bit windy if you can see the trees behind me, but want to hear something good? Listen to this. Oh, name a better sound. No, I know a better sound. I know a couple better sounds, but we've got to keep it PG. Continuing in the back, I've got a 2000 watt inverter. I've got another ARB compressor, the twin compressor, like I said before, that's stashed up in here with the switch just here in the corner. That runs my tyres off this inflatable bit just here. So I just plug that one that's in the drawer into that, pump up all the tyres. So this is my third battery up in here in this box. As I said before, this has got 3 batteries in this car. So 2 under the bonnet. One's a starter, one's an auxiliary. That auxiliary in the bonnet runs this fridge because this is hardwired into that. It runs these lights just here, and a lot of the original accessories that were on the car goes off that AUX battery under the bonnet. That battery there is an Enerdrive 100 amp hour E-Lite battery with an Enerdrive DC to DC charger, 40 amp. Out the front, it uses a Red Arc charger, the BC DC 25 amp, to go between the 2 auxiliary batteries under the bonnet. The auxiliary battery under the bonnet is 120 amp hour AGM, which runs this fridge and all that sort of jazz, like I said before. This one's a lithium Enerdrive 105 amp hour running off that DC. So I've got Enerdrive in the back with the charger and I've got Red Arc in the front with an AGM. Now that came with the car, that AGM out the front, and I put this lithium in. What does this one run is what you're wondering. Why do I have 3? This one runs the inverter, this one runs the ARB compressor, and it's got outlets on the side of it for charging phones and drawing big power. So it'll run the Starlink and all that sort of stuff. The Starlink doesn't run big power, but it'll run, this is my big load one. So if I need to charge a mate's car or anything like that, because it's going dead, and charge a go block, anything like that, you pump it straight off that one, because that will hold a lot more charge than the front AUX dual battery, because the front one runs a lot of this stuff. We've got a PET barrier in the back as well, or a cage, whatever you want to call it. In front of that cage, we've got a 45 litre stainless steel water tank, which is solid mounted in there. I'll show you from the back of the fridge, and that's gravity fed off a couple lines with quick connects to refill and fill up. Last but not least, under the bonnet. All right, under the bonnet, we've got a 1HZ. It's got an aftermarket turbo on it. The aftermarket turbo is an AXT. I believe it's a bit of an older brand. When I say an older brand, it's a company, I believe, that did a lot of the original turbo conversions to these cars back when 1HZs came out. It's got a PWR water to air cooler on this. The reason why people do that on these cars is because they don't come with a scoop basically for top mounted intercoolers, air to air. You can fit a front mount, but the work that's involved there is a little bit more tricky than just whacking that on and running some pipe through your cooling system. Got the ARB compressor up here, as I said. We've got the fuel filter. We've got the pump for the John Twine shower, which is up here. It's still got the factory air box. I do have plans to change that, but again, it's worked so far. It's been pretty good. Underneath, we've got the 3-inch full straight through exhaust. We've got the starter battery over here, and we've got the auxiliary battery AGM over there, the deep cycle. This car needed a new radiator, so shout out to Garage 76 who works on this car. They've thrown in a brand new radiator for me and a viscous fan hub. So everything else, mechanical's great. It's got no blow by, all that sort of jazz. The fuel pump itself is actually factory. It's got a compensator on it. It doesn't blow a lot of soot, which is great, but this car has been unbelievably reliable so far for me, and it's been turboed since about 50,000 Ks old from the receipts is what I could see. As I said before, it's got 283,000 Ks on it now, so look, it's been reliable. It's pushing about 13 PSI at the moment. Sounds really good with that 3-inch exhaust and the turbo. Can't complain there. It's still really not the quickest car, so if you want it for quickness and speed, wrong car to be buying. But I do have plans to put a 1HD FTE in this, or am I going to rebuild the 1HZ? So don't really have to get it engineered. Sort of you do, I get it with the turbo, but I'm talking engine block numbers still matches the plate on the car. So please subscribe to this channel, guys. We've got videos coming out every Sunday. We've got the shed that is in the process now, so it shouldn't be too much longer. We're going to get in, we're going to get a hoist in, and we're going to start pumping out some content. I'm ripping this baby straight out, I think. Either to build it or put a 1HD FTE in it, one of the two. This is coming straight out. We've got a tray getting built for the 79. Those plans for that tray looks unreal, so that's going to be really interesting to be doing. And I'm going to throw a brand new suspension kit under this car. Looking forward to that. Thank you for watching this episode anyway, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.